coming to the show.
Always, brother.
Thank you for kicking it with me. We're not going to say or disclose what time it is tonight. We're not. But anyways, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. What do you remember back then about us and how we met, and then where you're at right now and what you do right now in life?
I can say the one thing I remember is you're the same in high school as you are today. One particular character trait is the same, and I'll tell you what it is. He's a very inclusive person. He includes people. He never excludes. He never says you're not good enough or this or that. He says, hey, I got you. And he's the same way today. That's why he was the best man at my wedding. Because he was. Because he's always been that type of person. He always includes. He takes people in, and he makes sure that they're taken care of. Because he values people, relationships above all. And I think that's probably transparent through his podcast and the people that he has on. And so I think that's very fundamental. And so yeah, that's one of the big things I remember back then. High school was cool, you know what I mean? School was cool, and yeah, it was a good experience back then.
Good experience. We had some great times.
Prom.
Formals.
Formals.
We did not have one formal or prom if it didn't have Austin Stoker. Okay,
yes.
We were always together. We're always hanging out. It was just kind of like the misfits, of high school. Like I'm still totally different from what this guy is. This guy's totally different from what I am, but we're still the best friends, best homies, whatever
family.
You guys want to fam. He became the friend that became family, and then it's just like he fucks with me, now he's stuck with me, right?
Likewise.
Thank you. So I was very honored when I was asked to be, what's it called? The Men of Honor?
Best man.
Oh, best man.
Numero uno.
I was going to say the Men of Honor. No, that's the Woman of Honor, or what do they call it?
Maid of Honor.
Maid of Honor, yeah. We don't talk about those. But anyways, I was really flattered, right? I know this guy for a long time. I know what he's been through. We may not get the whole story tonight or today, depending on your time zone, of this guy's life story, right? All I know is that I didn't care where he came from, where he was going, or who he is right now. He's always been A1 since day one. Same old Austin Stoker.
Sure.
I really have enjoyed watching you succeed and do everything you do in life, because I feel like we all came up together. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's meant to go to school, do this, do that, and achieve the things you've done. I mean, we're talking to a professor. You're teaching over there at SFSU now?
No, UCSF.
UCSF.
University of
Not
California.
a Gator then.
Not a Gator.
Could be a Gator though.
Could be.
All right.
It's only been a year.
This is only my second episode, so I gotta get my shit. But anyways, he's still a professor, and you're still a well-deserving nurse. Mm-hmm. Guess what, guys? Little fun fact. We used to roommate together.
Yes.
I felt like I should get a degree for being next door, listening to this guy study. Stress. Sleepless nights. I'm talking about while we're out there partying. No, I'm just kidding. A little bit. This guy was hitting the books. Oh, and that rocking chair, man. God darn it.
With the books.
With the books. Like, all I heard was squeaky, squeaky. And I really
not the good squeak, the book squeak.
It's the book squeak, the book squeak. So the book squeak was kept me up, but he would always try to talk about what he learned, what he did that day, and I'm sitting here like, So the uterus does what? Holds humans? Okay, I got that. Wow, miracle of life. Okay, the miracle of birth. I will never forget. It was my first flight, right? It was for your bachelor hurrah, So that was actually my first flight. We flew Southwest out of Sacramento. Mm-hmm. So that was my first flight. This guy right here, oh my goodness. He gave me the best, worst experience ever.
Well put.
But we had a great time, okay?
Yeah.
First off, I'm gonna name some names out there. You guys don't know who this person is, but it's a good friend, Frank. He shows up.
Frank's a good guy.
Obliterated. Oh, he's a great guy.
He's
Shout out to Frank.
Yeah.
But he was obliterated. But he did not miss the flight, and we got to commend him for that because I mean,
I actually have a side story in that. Do you know how he told me because we just went back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually went to a different area, but we were in the same vicinity, and we actually walked past that area in the airport that you're going to allude to. And I'm not going to tell you a story. And so we were there, and we were talking about it, and he actually told me how obliterated that he actually was on IV lactated ringers. Like his mom, being a nurse too, literally was like giving him IV fluids in the morning to get him going. That's how obliterated he was.
But obliterated, but committed.
Committed.
Some guys can't even commit to a relationship. Nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy was committed to him.
Yeah.
He's a great friend. I got to know him through him, and I was like, oh my God, this guy is a legit dude. This guy will go to the ends of the earth to, make things happen. Mm-hmm. And it's just more of the genuine love for this guy and his friends. Like, he's a genuine guy. I met a lot of bullshit people, and I don't talk to those people. But this guy right here, hey, call me up, Frank, whatever you need. Well, like, dude, let's do it, bro.
Yeah.
Mi casa, su casa, you know?
Like,
but it was a great time, but the worst time. So it's one of my first time flying. My wife usually takes care of certain things because, you know, my anxiety or whatever I go through. I had to go through the, like, I don't give a shit what you got going on. We're going to get on this flight, regardless of this guy puking around the fucking annex or whatever. Dude! I'm sorry, Frank. No, disclose.
We take shots.
We did, because that's the thing to do. You're going to your friend's bachelor party. You're going to take some shots
in the airport
before going into the flight, right?
I knew it would light him up a little bit, too.
It would. And it actually did help. But then the stress level kept going up and up because one of our guys partied a little too hard the night before, and but we still had a great time. So I'm over here like trying to figure out how are we gonna get in this plane, dude. Like, dude, since thank you, Osama. You know, things are more, you know, with us strict with security and all that. And here I am trying to get on a plane. I'm afraid of heights. Okay, I'm afraid of heights. Everybody asks me, I'm Mexican, so how did I cross the border? I was thrown over, you know. So yes, I have some PTSD on that. Kidding. But
he can't swim, so.
Okay, now we're disclosing that I can't swim. Yeah, I can't swim, guys.
And I'm the bad friend that never taught him, so.
Exactly. I mean, this guy's a sweatsuit All-American, you know? He should have taught me some shit. I mean, this guy looks like almost damn ridiculous Captain America. Did you see the sweatshirt he wore? He still reps till this day. Have you guys seen Captain America not rep?
Every day, babe.
You know, some people like to call the Air Force, you know, bullet counters and whatever else they called you guys. What do they call you guys? Why are they always hazing on you guys?
Chair Force.
Ooh, haters. Ooh,
haters gonna hate.
Haters are gonna hate. But anyways,
we
all appreciate our armed forces, and as you guys will see and can see, we have everybody from every branch. I kind of associate with a lot of people that were in the military, and I thank them, you know, because not a lot of people have the balls or the testosterone, tenacity to commit to something like that. It's a commitment, bro.
It is.
But it also, you know, did something good for my friend here who actually took advantage of the programs and got an education out of it. And he's a self-made man, and I'm proud of him. You know, not a lot of people come from where he comes from, and I'm not going to disclose where we're at, but we're actually in the hood. And just a little bit. So, but people judge my boy all the time. It's like, dude, you don't know what hard life is. You don't know what it's like to struggle. And it's like, oh my God, my friends, you guys are mistaken. Because this guy right here, and I will vouch, went through the hardest things that even the guy that actually grew up in the hood didn't have to go through. And then he's still a model citizen. He's a model citizen. You're kind of like an activist because you do speak on foster care and all that. And for anybody that's been a foster child, you know what's up. You know, if we say the word Conway Homes, then you kind of know what's up. You know, like
well, that's just outside Stockton, but
it's kind of the hardest place to kind of go through foster care, right?
Yeah.
Currently, my wife and I have been applying to foster care, and we're learning a lot. And with learning that, I've grown to appreciate Austin more. I already know his story. You actually do have a web page or a YouTube video of yourself, right? Of your story and
yeah, it was on the. I don't know if they still have it up. It was up for a while. It was a recruitment video for foster parents on the San Joaquin County Human Services website. Just to recruit foster parents and let them know the perspective of foster kids and what they go through. I was a foster kid in Conway Homes. My parents, unfortunately, had struggled with a lot of substance abuse issues. My dad was in prison for most of my life, and for substance abuse related issues and some other things. And so I was in foster homes. I was in Conway Homes. I lived off of the actually other side, so not technically Conway Homes, the first place I lived. It was on 8th Street in Harrison, just past 9th Street by Harrison Park. And I grew up a lot there, and it's still very much the hood, in lack of a better term. And but yeah, I grew up there and McKinley School, and then of course the substance abuse kept becoming an issue, so I became a foster kid. I spent 2.5 years in a children's shelter, in and out, and then different foster homes, 10 different foster homes altogether. And then I went to one of the foster homes, or a couple of them actually, were around the Conway Homes area. And so I was in Van Busker Park, and Conway Homes went to Marshall Middle School. And so it's just the whole environment, you know what I mean? And it's an edgy environment. It makes you tough, makes you respectful. And of course, on being on the other side, it makes you appreciate where you came from. But, foster, there's a lot of kids out there that definitely need help and need support. It doesn't always have to be, hey, I'm going to take you into my home, because that can be very hard on a lot of families and the dynamics there. But it can always be, hey, there's this I can give, there's this I can give, if it's a used vehicle, a lot of different things you can give, clothes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived off the clothes in the children's shelters that people donated.
Wow.
Because when you come in a children's shelter, I mean, I got taken from McKinley Elementary School and my clothes I was wearing to school. Right. Boom, I'm in a children's shelter.
Wow.
What am I where do I get my toothpaste? Where do I get my deodorant and detergent?
It all becomes an issue.
It always becomes an issue because you have nothing, but people, the generosity of people is what we lived off of.
And that's something I want to bring back to, like, we're all going through hard times. Everybody's going through hard times, but there's some people that are going through some really tough times. So if there's charities out there and there's programs out there that you could donate to, if you're well off or you want to do a charity, you could always look up these places. I'll put a link below and try to get you guys to get some information and education, because he grew up different than I grew up. I grew up with my mom and dad, on my ass about everything, old school Mexican. You better not fucking fuck up, do this, do that, whatever. I'll beat your ass. Don't ever disrespect your mother. Till this day, don't ever disrespect your mother, because regardless of what, good or bad, she's your mama. She's your mama. She birthed you. You know what I'm saying? And that's another topic that I was talking about with a couple guys a while back. It's the terminology of, like, oh, you're being a pussy. Honestly, dude, the pussy does a lot of good things, man. It gave us birth. It's hard to birth a person. You're in the medical field. Jesus, how many people have you seen birth? Like, it's a hard process, right?
I've been there personally and helped deliver 9 babies in my life.
That's nine people in Earth right now.
I was so close to making 10 multiple times. I couldn't make it a set, but
okay, that's a personal.
But hey, I got plenty of career left. I got plenty of career left. But I don't look. I don't. That was my rotation in labor and delivery, so you never know. But yeah, it's.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, it's like we have to cherish our women. And you're married now. Mm-hmm. I'm married now.
Yeah.
We both got married pretty much simultaneously. Am I saying that? I can't even say it right.
Within 2 months apart.
Within 2 months apart, yeah. So anyways, we love them. Sometimes, but it's illegal and we love them, so we can't do that.
Only in certain countries. I'm sorry.
Well, he's the one that's been reading the educated book of how to get away with shit. Let me find out you're watching Criminal Minds or True Blood. Let me find out you're watching True Blood. Liz,
send her a text message, SOS.
Yeah, but our wives are good friends, so
Yes.
it's like we can't get away with shit, bro.
No.
If she knows something, she knows something. They tell us they're not going to tell each other, but
No, they do.
But then we end up in the fucking guest room.
I see the text message.
It's a paragraph. Sometimes it's you know.
They even
But
say
but I
emails.
think your wife is nicer than my wife.
Oh, bullshit.
No bullshit. I go through some shit.
My wife's Mexican.
Okay, you got me there. You got me there. You got me there. She has that Mexican gene in her. Do not fuck around with Liz because yeah. So cheers to this might be your funeral because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Cheers. Low carb beer, you know, because we're watching our figure. I'm still trying to be, you know, in my summer figure, but I'm
warm out there.
I'm a can short of a 6-pack right now, so
Hey,
just letting you know.
one away. All the way to the
Nah,
cake.
I'm
One
a
away,
can.
all the way to the
I'm a
cake.
can go all the way. But anyways, it's always great hanging out with this guy because I could always relate to who we were before anything else. You know, he's successful in his own right. I'm successful in my own right.
Absolutely.
I have a different view and a different panoramic of where I'm at in life right now, and him, man, he just skyrocketed, and I always cheered him on. I always cheered him on, and I always been there for his successes. But I think I've been there more for your failures than your successes. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could. I don't know if you could attest to this. I think you learn more from your failures than you do your successes, because when you fail, you learn, and when you learn, you gain all this information about
Perspective.
And it's a perspective, yeah. So, who better than this guy who didn't grow in a traditional way? And I did grow a traditional way, but at the same time, I went through some life-altering events where it actually changed my perspective in life.
Yeah.
And I like how you said perspective, because perspective is everything. People always say, man, you're so lucky that you found the one and you're in love. I was like, Jesus Christ. Do you know how many times I fell in love before I fell in love?
Yeah.
Like, it's perspective, you know? You know, how many times did this guy freak the fuck out because he thought he was going to fill a midterm or a test? There was one time he had me search the whole house for a textbook. And he said, my career is over. I cannot believe this guy's conviction in his face. Like, my career is over. It is done.
It was in my car.
It was in the trunk of his car.
Guess he told me to look in the car.
I kind of suggested that.
And I said, no, it's in the house.
No, it's in the house somewhere, and I can't find it.
1 hour later, did you check your trunk yet? I'm like, well, whatever. I'll go. Yeah, fine.
So, crisis averted. And this guy is now... Well, tell him. What are you now? What do you do?
Like I said, I do teach. It's a very humbling experience. So I'm a registered nurse, obviously, and as you said before. Also, I do teach. I got my master's and a little bit of my doctorate done. And so I do teach at UC. Very humbling experience just to be able to help cultivate nurses and to bring up more nurses. We're obviously after the pandemic, during the pandemic, even before the pandemic, we are yearning for individuals to be involved in the healthcare arena and in that profession. We still are. So if you ever want to reach out, get some information on what's the career like, how do I do it? I know the education on the side, obviously, I teach, but also the career side. I've done it for first started in about 2015. So it's been a while, and so got a little experience there. I worked in multiple hospitals, over from San Francisco to Stockton to Sacramento, and so still a lot of healthcare organizations, and so, but that's what I do. I do still kind of the pandemic kind of shut it down, but we do fundraisers for foster kids and just to raise awareness and to bring not only prospective foster parents in, but maybe financial assistance to different organizations to allow them to support foster kids. And yes, I definitely vet these organizations that I speak on, and make sure that I'm representing an organization that's really putting 100% of that the financial gain through the nonprofit side through the fundraisers, 100% back to the kids. And because I received some of that when I was a kid, and when people would do things and buy this or buy that, it was small stuff. Hey, buy 10 tickets to the Ports game, Stockton Ports. And I go out to the Stockton Ports, and I remember sitting at a Ports game and hadn't seen my mother in years. My dad was in prison. I remember thinking, I'm sitting at a Ports game because someone actually cares.
Yeah.
It's so easy when you're in a bad situation to stop believing in humanity, to stop believing that there's good things out there. But sometimes you do a small gift, it lets people hold on to the fact that, hey, someone out there is good. Someone believes in me. Someone, there's still that nature and humanity, and I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that nature. And that's one of the reasons that after the military, it led me into to the healthcare, so I could help people kind of reciprocate what I'd already received.
Right. So I noticed that early on. Austin's a healer. He's always been there to try to help people, and in a very unselfish way. Because the selfish part of him is like, well, I need to get better. I need to do this. I need to be better than that guy so I can help that person and then be better, right? That's the selfish part. But it's unselfish because, come on, guys. Who wants to work those long hours? Who wants to put in the work? And you know what? Honestly, everybody's always asking me, what do you do and why do you do it? Well, some of us do because of necessity, but there's other people like my friend here who do it because they were born to do certain things. And it's just man, honestly, it comes down to if this guy saw someone fall down in front of him right now, gasping for air, he'd be the first one out there being like, okay, what's going on? Let's assess the situation. Let's do this, right? He's not asking you for your insurance. He's not asking you, what am I going to get out of this? He's just going to inertly act, and that's how he's been since I met him. You know what? You came into high school and you weren't, popular right off the bat. You weren't somebody that was known right off the bat. But he got to be known, and he got to be respected because of the person he is and he still is now. Yeah. And that's something I valued, and it's how many years now since high school? Jesus, we're kind of old, we're kind of up there, you know. We did already do our high school reunion, and thank you, Courtney Lugo. If you're out there, shout out, because you put that all together, and Tweetran.
The 20th.
I'm not going to the 20th. If you already know us, then we're going to do
I'm going to the 20th because I was still in school on the 10th, and I'm going to drag in to...
Nah, you don't have... Hey.
Whether it's in the back of my truck with chloroform, I have access.
He's going to have to talk to the wife, okay? Because,
the wife coming too.
Oh, my God. I'm going to talk to your wife to talk to my wife and then settle something else. But anyways, it really doesn't matter. You know what's funny? We live under the pretension that we own our lives, but after getting one of these rings, where's your ring at? After getting one of those, it's just
different.
It's different.
It's different. In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. It hurts different. It feels good different. And
what you expect?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's all perspective.
Oh yeah.
But
mentality.
And our wives are good friends, so it's just no matter what we do, those girls are still gonna talk shit about us, bro.
Never
no matter what, it's not gonna stop, dude. It's either what we wear, what we do, how late we come home, how early we come home, how we don't. It's always gonna be something.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to tell him, because I have a father-in-law who's really great. Jerry, shout out to Jerry, my father-in-law. I love that guy. Because he's always told me, he's you know what, the best thing to do is, yes, ma'am, sure. The less we argue, the better the relationship. The happier the wife, the happier the life. But
I never learned that.
we're from Stag High. They didn't learn us anything there other than being stubborn.
I got a voice.
Stubborn. Emmer effers.
I'm Irish and German, a little bit Native.
That's worse.
A little bit of Cherokee Indian.
And I'm also Mexican.
Horde-headed.
Yeah. But, you
With
know.
Horde-headed.
Oh, I thought you said whore-headed. Horde. Okay, that's.
I was trying to get long.
Yeah, I was like, don't put me in the whore category, because that is. Oh my goodness gracious. But anyways,
the wife did here.
We've always had a great time, and we moved on in life. I've lost my mother, and so has he. So he's my brother in that sense as well. He's also been through so much things that I cannot relate to, but somehow we always connect in leveled ground. Like we're both hardworking, we're stubborn, we're gonna get what we want, either right now or eventually.
Exactly.
But it's that mentality, you know. It's like it doesn't matter. Like you just gotta grind, you know. We're doing this podcast today, and I'll keep continuing having these podcasts with a lot of people because I actually hang out with people that relate to me. We came from the same or worse, but we're still doing something. And if we could give back to the community, that's actually a win, you know. Honestly, I gotta ask you right now. I know you're a busy man, but if somebody were to come to you from foster care or whatever to ask for your guidance, is there any way or anything you've thought about of helping them out or how to help them out? Or give them some like hope, because it's hard, guys. Like, he's not my only foster friend. Like, I've had other foster friends. I will not mention their names, but they unfortunately had committed suicide, or because after 18 you age out and you're on your own. People don't understand. Some kids are on their own, and then there's no help for them.
There's no buffer. There's some legislation that has been passed that kind of help give them a little bit of financial assistance, but it's very minuscule, to say the least. And so that is a dynamic that a lot of foster kids struggle with. But I feel like it's the isolation, because when you're
pretty hard.
When you're becoming an adult, you don't have anybody, no foundation, no landing pad, like for a better word, to kind of bounce things off of and stuff like that. So it has become very hard.
So would you say that we need more like of a big brother,
more mentors,
and help these kids out?
Yeah, I would say not only the mentorship, but we need mentorship before they're getting 18, and
right before they age out.
And usually that's where.
And are there programs like that right now that you're aware of?
There is some. It depends on the foster agency that is working with the children. That's why some I'm more involved with than others. Not to say that anyone's better than other. I'm not here to do that. But I'm involved with some because they have those programs I feel that are more statistically beneficial for the foster kids and allowing them to have the foundation they need to move on. I feel like I've done that and mentored some healthcare. I'm doing that with another doctor, and moving and working in that aspect as well. And such as the pandemic has been a little bit better, but
the pandemic kind of threw a curveball to everybody.
A lot of support mechanisms.
Well, I think everybody's learned how to work in a different way, like especially how you're saying support. But I think everybody kind of evolutionized in how to go about this support, because it's not just black and white anymore. There's so different ways, like just like we're reaching you guys out through this podcast, through this YouTube video. There's like so many ways to reach out people and talk about it is foster care kids, you know, because after they age out, like a lot of them feel like they're ostracized or, you know, just not part of the world, not, you know what I'm saying? Isolation, you know, and then some of them are not lucky enough, like my friend was lucky enough to find his family, his grandparents, took him in.
My grandparents.
Yeah, so he was very lucky, because I could not have been sitting here talking to one of my best friends if it wasn't for that family connection. And there's some people that don't have that family connection. You know, they just kind of fall through the cracks, and they either go into crime, they commit suicide or they go into drugs. You know.
In California today, there's roughly 58,000 kids that are their parental relationship has been severed by the court system in California, because obviously for many reasons involving that parental relationship not only was detrimental to the child, but it was almost non-existent. The same thing happened when I was 16. I became a ward of the state of California, lack of a better term, where state of California basically my parents, and so that means you'll never ever go back to your parents. And today it's 58,000 and growing. The number is growing even more after the pandemic, believe it or not. And so those kids are all out there, and again they don't have parents. They're in that existence to where that they desperately need some support, and and some mentorship, like you were saying.
Well, that's rough, you know, and for anybody that grew up in the hood, not in the hood, that is rough, man. But let's get into lighter terms. What are you into now? What are your hobbies? What do you aspire? What's the one thing that makes you tick to keep continuing where your path is at right now? So,
well, I feel like right now, wow, you know, I went to school for so long.
A long time.
Like 9-10 years, a long time. Because part of my master's included a little bit of doctoral work and some research and stuff like that. So it took a long time. And so I'm enjoying life, not being in school and having that weight and being under a microscope. It's very intimidating for anybody, no matter how good of a student you are. And so I'm enjoying that. I go on hikes. I enjoy just kind of reconnecting with certain friends and certain nonprofit groups to, again, raise awareness and help individuals. I also really enjoy the mentorship programs for not only beginning healthcare professionals, but also prospective ones. And so that's kind of what I'm doing, trying to make it easier, cultivate a better environment for healthcare providers and foster kids and stuff like that that might want to go on that avenue of that career path. So just really trying to again make the road easier. I feel like, you know, going through a rather difficult journey, you on the other end of it, you look back and you reflect, right? And you say, okay, this could have been better, that could have been better, this could have been better. And now you're in a position where you can tangibly change the path to make it easier, still very informative and cultivating and educational, but you can do certain things to make it easier so more people can follow that path. And so more people end up where you're at. And I feel like your legacy is never about what you do, it's about what you help other people do. Yeah. And I want to help other people. I want to bring other people. Say, hey, look, there's this other side. We don't always have to stay here. We can go here. And I've made this path a little easier. Let me help you. I'll guide you through it.
Some powerful stuff. Some powerful words from a guy that knows it, been there. Like, it's not somebody I'm just trying to, put up, whatever. Like, I know this guy's life. We've been there. We pretty much grew up together. Yeah. Well, some of us take a little longer to grow up. Man, like, we had some great times. But my dude, man, that was a good story. That was a good story with Austin, because that's how it all started. He'd be like, dude, what are you doing for a formal? What are you doing for prom? And then we'd just be like, dude, whatever it is, but you rolling with us. Yeah. And we rolled, and we've been rolling ever since. I mean, I rolled all the way to his wedding, which, by the way, I think I gave, if not one of the best speeches, okay? I think I did pretty good. I did so good that I still have this speech on my phone. And written, I think I sent it to you. How I wrote it down, piece by piece. I even had jokes on it.
You have it on video.
The video, I haven't seen the video yet.
Really?
No, I haven't seen the video.
We'll change that.
I haven't seen the video. We'll have to do that.
Hey, I
have my own video too, and that's a whole different story. But I'm glad you were able to take this time out of your busy time to talk about yourself, talk about us, how we met, and where we're going. And if anybody has any questions, I'll put some links below where you could talk or where you could research, foster care, and some of these other programs that are out there available to people. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching us. Thank you, Austin, for taking the time. I really enjoyed you coming over.
Love you, man.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see you guys next time. He'll be back. We'll have different stories. Peace.
Peace. Thank you.